We are live. Yes. All right. Happy Monday. We are live. I'm excited about this. Welcome to the very first version series of HERversations. I'm excited. Share this with your social media audience. Text the flyer out. Get all your girls, your wives, your soon-to-be wives, your hopeful wives on the line and let's talk. I can't wait to get started, but I am going to wait a few minutes just to make sure I look right in both cameras because I got two things going on right now. I got YouTube and Facebook over here, and I have, wait, that's not right. See, look at me. There we go. Okay, see? Oh, yes, that's better. Why does the camera make you look like 10 sizes bigger? Like I done tried to prop the things up and hit it at an angle and hit it at the side. And so I decided that a side angle give me that look. So I gotta thank you, Sharmy. See, Sharmy, you are always my cheerleader. I love me some you. Welcome to the very first HERversations. Are y'all sharing this? This is gonna be great. It's gonna be so phenomenal. It's gonna be all right. I gotta hype myself up. I am my own best hype man when I'm in the room by myself. You see that? It's gonna be the bomb. Yes, come on. Share. I'm excited about this. I almost gave up on myself today. I almost said, Nakia, you planned this, you can cancel it. Why you gotta do it today? You don't have to do it at all. I literally almost talked me out of doing something that I thought was a great idea. Ain't that what we do? Whew, today was the day. I was turning my back on me. I like this camera better, Charmy. So we need to get another like webcam because on Facebook I'm giving Wait, let me wipe my phone off. Maybe I need to do that. See what happens when you go live? Let's see. That's all it took. God, I thank you. If every issue in my life was that easy to fix. Oh my goodness. Look at us now. Boom. I'm ready now. I am ready. I am excited. And I am anticipating. There's nothing that you can do with me. Y'all know that. Just keep praying. Listen, on Sundays, I tell Bishop when something go wrong, okay, I'm putting in my letter of resignation. I quit. But I can't say that to myself because I'm the only one here that's going to set up a camera, a video. Y'all help me. Just keep praying. We're going to get started soon. Did y'all share this? Really, Marcy? That's what you're doing to me? Y'all just going to leave me out here by myself? This is what friends are for. I thought that I would have a song in my heart at this moment and start singing, but no song popped up. So let's get started, girls. This video will be available for replay, and I don't want to take much of your time. I just wanted to share a very impactful moment with you all. My name is Lady Nakia Wright. I am the CEO and founder of A Woman's Voice Matters, and it has been my heart's desire to always remind women that you matter, that you are monumental, that you are a matriarch in the earth, and if you are silent, you void those coming behind you the answers that we need in order to be a success. Maya Angelou said it so good. She said there's no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside of you. Why would you go to the grave and all of your answers are buried with you? The Bible said there's nothing new underneath the sun. Therefore, life is a pattern. It just keeps repeating itself. Don't take somebody else's path with you to the grave. Be an answer that you needed the most in your good days, in your bad days, in your indecisive days. Be the answer that you needed at the time you needed it the most. We always feel like nobody wants to hear my story. You never know it if you don't share it. Thus birthing HERversations. It's just me and a group of dynamic women. Sharmanique Bynum, Marcy Thompson. I'm going by the days. So I'm Monday. I do the wives. Charmonique Bynum is on Tuesday. She does the servants, those who are servants in the kingdom. Marcy Thompson does Wednesday. She's working out Wednesday. She gears her messages towards the working women. Hadassah DeBush is on Thursday. She speaks to the millennials. Friday, we have Tashia Hodge, and she speaks to those who required a second chance 350 times over again. Diane Smith, she's on Saturday, and her target audience is legacy makers. And on Sunday, we have Laura Scott, and her target audience is the Christian community. So each one of us will take a turn each and every Monday to tell her story. Your story is vital. Your story is necessary. And what will the pages of your life consist of? And listen, one page at a time, one brick at a time. We're all in this together, and we're building greatness. And again, I say to you, if you don't share your story, if you don't share your experiences, you may void somebody else. This is how serious it is. May die prematurely because you didn't answer a necessary call. I don't want to get to heaven and somebody say, I died because you withheld the information that God intentionally put you through to be an answer, and you intentionally withheld the information. And therefore, because I didn't have the answers, I died prematurely. I don't want nobody to come up to me to say that. So I don't care if there's 3,000 people, an audience of 3,000 people, or an audience of one. If my words have the power to save one life, I've multiplied greatness. So here we are. And today I actually solicited some wives. I put out a call and I said, what do you want to talk about? And I'm not saying it because, oh my goodness, I'm married to Bishop Donald Wright. Shout out to Bishop Donald Wright. Yes, that's my boo. Today a good day. I love him. That's my boo. Now y'all, look, let me tell y'all something. Truth is all I'm going to give you. On the days where y'all can tell that my husband done got on my nerves, I'm be like, oh, I am married to Bishop Donald Wright. I'm grateful for it. He's truly blessed my life. When I get upset, I'm extremely professional. So when I hit y'all with the professional side, you'll be like, oh, let me pray for Lady Wright and Bishop. They must be not having a good day. I am married to the one that was perfect for me. Everybody has their own mate that's perfect for them. He was perfect for me. Look, all my imperfections and all my flaws and everything, God knows that only he could tolerate some of the craziness that's birthed out of this house. But I thank God for him. And I thank God for choosing me. I didn't always answer the call, but I'm grateful that life has taught me that to have the courage to tell your story, to have the courage to be first, to have the courage to be a trailblazer, to have the courage that don't ever allow opinions to stop you from being who God called you to be in the earth. Oftentimes we think, what is so-and-so going to say about me? Or what's such and such going to think? I don't really care. Listen, I'm not living for you. So it's all good. So listen, nugget number one. Look, I hope that y'all have pencil and papers because we're going to be giving out nuggets. Nuggets. Ugh. Number one, do not allow what you think somebody else is going to think about you to hinder you from doing what it is it's in your heart to do. Nugget number one. There's going to be plenty. Get your paper, get your pencils, get your phone out, take some notes, and let's hit it. So I did, like I was beginning to say, I solicited some wives and I put out just a blanket call wives. If there's something that you want to talk about, let's discuss it. And that's how I came up with the topics for today. However, I have to deviate from that list just a bit because I promised somebody I would talk about a certain subject. And trust me, this is not going to be long. But so I want to just touch on, look, all I have is my word. I am working intentionally to keep my promises so that you know that there is power attached to the words that I give you, that they're not just loosely. So with that being said, one of the things that I promised a young lady that I would discuss is some advice that I would give my younger self. And I'm going to begin with that topic. Again, if you're just joining us, welcome to HERversation. This is our very first series that we're going to start in reference to telling your story. What are the pages of your life reading, and who can you help along the way? And so that's what we're here for. So the first thing that I would say to my younger self is to be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Oftentimes, we're so hard on ourselves growing up. We want everything quick. We don't want to wait. And when something that we really was excited about and something we really wanted to do failed, it chipped away at our self-esteem. And when we became mature women, we didn't come into adulthood with the courage and the boldness that we should have had, because we allow what perceived to be failures chip away at our self-esteem. And it had us second guessing greatness. And the fact of the matter is, they're never failures. They're always lessons. Number 2, and this is one of the greatest things that I have experienced in my adult life, that I wish that I would have really, really, really understood the gravity of it when I was younger. People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. We all know that popular line by Maya Angelou. We all know it. But the fact of the matter is, I learned the hard way. You don't get a second chance at a first impression. And bad days are not excuses for unintentionally wounding somebody. Bad days are not an option when your assignment is to build bridges. People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. And it can be good or bad. Oftentimes, we don't realize the negative effect that we have on people. We will push somebody away haphazardly because they don't fit our opportunity at that time. And you don't realize that God put them in your life for a later moment, but because it didn't seem like a fit at the proper time, you mishandled God's greatness. And listen, sometimes you don't get a second chance. And oftentimes, if you miss it the first time, you still gonna get the lesson, but it is going to be a little bit harder, a little bit longer. And listen, you may not always recover from the fight that you didn't have to be in. So this is one of the things I will forever remember. People will forget what you said. They'll forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. And that goes to the good too. Listen, be somebody's cheerleader. Be somebody's reason to get up in the morning. Be somebody's answer in the time of need, or just be. Listen, people, your success, there are people riding on your success. So every day that you get up and say, God, I thank you. God, I'm alive. God, use me. You give somebody else courage who may not even be that may be going through a rough patch in their life. You give somebody courage and you give somebody strength to keep on going. If they can't feel it for themselves, let them put their eye on you and realize if she can make it, she is living proof that God is able to do the impossible. And listen, one of the most powerful prayers you can say, God, if you did it for Nakia, I know that you can do it for me. And whoever that name may be, but you are living proof that somebody else can make it. I wish my daughter was down here right now with me rather than upstairs entertaining Malia. Y'all probably could hear her because this is the conversation that her and I just had. It's okay to be wrong. When you were growing up, nobody could tell you nothing. Nobody can say anything to you. You thought you had all of the answers. And when it failed, you rather than admit you're wrong, most of us, myself, I tried to cover it up because I did not want anybody to think that I was so adamant and so bold by saying how right I was and I failed. Covering up mistakes will lead to a life that God didn't ordain for you. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to make mistakes. Listen, the thing that I learned, don't ever Look for somebody who you think has had this perfect life. And they always have the perfect answer for everything. Baby, what I learned is that flawed people know the way out. So if you've made some mistakes, they may be mistakes for you, but listen, they are lessons for me. So listen, it's so Nakia, to your younger self, it's okay to be wrong. And last but not least, and what I would say to myself, while I have had a million conversations with my younger self, I try to pull out some of the greatest lessons that I taught me in my older years that I'm trying to share and impart into my babies. And one of the other greatest lessons is stop shrinking. You may be too much for some people. You may be what you would consider. Most people like to be in comfort zones. They like to be amongst people that make them feel comfortable or make them feel good. And I always say, I heard my leaders say, I say this all the time, if I am the smartest one in my circle, I have no space to grow. Don't shrink. Surround yourself with wisdom. Surround yourself with information. Surround yourself with people that have connections. Surround yourself with people that know where money is or where grants is. Surround yourself around people that want something out of life, because who you surround yourself with is who you'll become. And oftentimes at a younger age, I only wanted to have fun. I wanted to enjoy the moment. I didn't think about the lasting effect that moments will have on me. I didn't live for tomorrow. I live for moments. And when you live for moments, you forget that there's a path that you have to take in order to succeed in life. And oftentimes, look, Bishop taught us something. I had 2 children unmarried. The truth of my life. And listen, while I am in a place where God is blessing me exceedingly and abundantly above what I could ever ask, think, dream of, I mean, He's been a kind God to me. But the fact of the matter is, I almost died in my choices because I aborted paths that I should have taken out of comfort. Look, this is real. I almost killed me more times than more fingers than I have. I didn't want to live because of my choices. Stop shrinking. Find you some people that know what life is, not a perception of life, because perception ends up in failure. Find somebody who's experienced life. Find somebody that has a goal attached to their name. Find somebody that has a dream attached to who's their legacy. And not only are they a dreamer, but they a doer. Don't hang around just dreamers, because oftentimes dreams are not manifested. Find you some doers. Find you some implementers. Find you people that know how to carry out what it is that they say. Nakia, this is what I'm saying to you at 16, at 15, when I was grown and thought I knew everything. The path was not easy because of my choices. So that's what I would say to my younger self. Yes. So I'm going to target my next topic that I want to discuss to the wives today. And men, please, if you're on mic while I see you, thank you again for everyone joining the very first version of A Woman's Voice Matters. HERversation. This is where we share the pages of our life, the good, the bad, the imperfect, whatever it is. We're not shrinking, and I can only talk to you through experience. I'm not saying that I'm a woman, a wife, and I know everything, because I don't know everything. What I do know is I've made enough mistakes in this almost 7 years of my marriage that if I can help somebody else not make the same mistakes I made, that our divorce rate will decrease. Listen, the truth of the matter is marriage is great. It is wonderful. It is something to yearn for, to want, and to desire. But if anybody tells you that it's not work, don't listen to them. They wanted the wedding. They didn't want the marriage. There's a difference. Most people want the wedding. And when they have to show up in the marriage, look, the work is too great and people bow out because they don't want to put the work in it and make it great. So to my wives, soon to be wives, want to be wives, hopeful wives, I say this to you. Forgiveness is important in marriage. You have to forgive. I'm going to say it the way this young lady said it. Cherie. She was married to Will Smith. And she shared something on her page that I cried for days over. And after I cried, I sent her an inbox and I posted under her inbox, under her message, and I said, please check your DMs. And she said something that changed my life. You see, I'm tearing up, nose getting red already because it's still a work in progress. But I knew that she heard from God when she said it. And she said, when do you forgive? And the response was, while you're still hurting. Oh! The task is too great. While I know that that's truth, who does that? When do you forgive after being wounded by the person that you're sharing life with? While it's still hurting? Because listen, the fact of the matter is, you're still there. The marriage is not going to go away because either you or your spouse did something that wounded your heart. And they are the closest ones to you. So listen, they hurt you the most. Intentionally or unintentionally, the people that's closest to you hurt you the most. But you have to find a way to forgive. And don't let it take forever. Don't carry a grudge for a week. What? Listen, who wants to live a miserable life if choice will make it different? It's not easy. And you may still feel the emotion attached to what happened, and you have to choose to forgive anyway. Now, what I do highly recommend, I'm a journaler. So I share this when we're doing marriage counseling. When you go through a difficult moment and you can't stop forgetting about it and you keep reliving it over and over and over and over in your mind, write out your emotions attached to it. Don't make your spouse have to. This is the one thing I charge myself with for being married. Don't let my husband regret coming home. As a mom, don't let my kids regret having to come home. Let home be a safe place. And with that, when you have that goal in mind, you respond to things differently. Because remember, we are not in this for a moment. We're in this for a lifetime. A lifetime of happiness takes work. But when you think about the longevity attached to the assignment, you approach matters differently than you was if you can just brush somebody off. You can't just brush somebody off that gave you their last name. Oh, see? This is what happened when you're live. Yes, baby. Okay. All right. Do you want to come say hi? Look at this. Say hi to the girls. Say hi to the guys. Say hi. Say hello. Look. Say hi. Yes. Okay. Go find your mommy. Go find your mommy. Thank you. Listen, I just want to be what I needed in the times I needed it the most. And one thing that I learned was a prayer that helped me. And I've shared this. And my prayer was, God, if you don't remove the memory, remove the sting attached to the memory so that I won't keep reliving something that's stale as if it was still fresh. So listen, I prayed it over and over and over again until it happened. Till one day, the emotion attached to the memory was no longer there. It now became a lesson and no longer a sting. Okay, so my next topic is growing together. It's already 4:24. Okay, I gotta hurry up. I didn't want to be this long. I was trying to do like a 15-minute hit it and quit it. So let me hurry up. Growing together. Work to never find yourself on the other side of my fight is gone. Work, grow with your spouse. Listen, the one thing that we can guarantee is change. Change is the constant in our life. And the person that you married is not the same person they were a year from now, a month from now. Listen, we're in the middle of a pandemic. We have never lived under these restrictions, under this much stress, under this much death. We've never, I told my husband, I said, I feel like I am in a third world country. I cannot believe that this is the United States of America. And under these pandemic moments, it's changing us. And listen, it's bringing out what's on the inside of us, because how you handle a moment tells what's going on the inside of you. And oftentimes, I can't even handle what's going on inside of me. And I'm projecting this to the person that I love. You looking at me, do I even know you? And actually, I had this conversation with my husband, and I had this conversation with each other. It was like, why we get married? What is happening? And you have to have difficult conversations when life happens, whether it's good, whether it's a promotion on their job, or a loss in their family. It changes the person. And if you are still expecting your spouse to be the person they were last week, you bind them, and you box in their greatness. You box in who it is that God is evolving them to be. So one of the worst things that you can do for your spouse is when you start doing that. Like, you ain't used to do that. Who you been around? Well, what you been doing? Bishop has this saying that he told us, who been pushing your stroller? Give your spouse the space to grow and have the patience to learn them all over again. I had to see, I'm looking at my notes, y'all. Yep. Okay, good. I hit all those topics. Okay, we're doing good. We're doing good. And the last topic that I want to hit on, again, thank you for joining the very first series of HERversations. I wanted to give you the raw, authentic side of Nakia. And, she's not always polished. She's not always saying the right thing at the right time. There's some things when I had my radio show that I would say something, my husband would be like, oh, you was not supposed to say that on air. I was like, dang, I'm going to have to do better. Can you give me a list of words I'm not supposed to say in front of people? My last topic that I wanted to discuss, that was one of the major issues that wives asked to just talk about, was recovering from difficult moments. I read this today, and I wish that I would have read it early in my marriage, because I would have approached moments so differently. I said, a conversation about how you feel should never end up in an argument. I'll say it again. A conversation about how you feel should never end up in an argument. You have to realize both of you have beating hearts. Both of you have emotions. Both of you have your perception. And there are days when the two won't line up. But the greatest gift that you can have is to listen. I would often defend my actions. He would share how he felt about a moment, and I would say, that's what you got out of that? Are you serious? But the one thing I had to be conscious of is my delivery. And we don't always think about how we say a thing and how we do a thing, and that could make all of the difference, whether or not the moment was beneficial or it chipped away at the core of your love. Recovering from difficult moments takes patience. It takes time. It takes intentional behavior. It takes love. And it takes consistency. But I can guarantee you that it is possible, that it is worth it. And as long as you always commit to hearing your spouse and listening to your spouse, and not always, you don't have to defend yourself to your spouse. Why? We live together. We share life together. I'm not on trial. I don't have to defend myself, but I'm obligated to listen. I said this earlier in the week. Listening is one of the greatest gifts that you can give your spouse. Oftentimes, if you don't agree, listen to them. Because unintentionally, what you did or what you said made them feel that way. So listen and work to be better. Do not ever use the excuse, you know who I was when you married me. If you're still the person you was when they married you, then something is challenged in your psyche that you have to fix, because the one thing that's constant is change, and you should not be in the same place you was from a year now from now. My love should have made you grow. Recovering from difficult moments takes difficult conversations. But if you wound your spouse in a difficult conversations, they're going to be hesitant about going into another difficult conversations, which means that rather than work on fixing the marriage, you will be like many people say, oh, we have great makeup sex. I'm not having sex with you when I'm mad. I don't want you to numb my anger. I want it to be resolved. And it can only be resolved from conversations. And if you have a conversation with your spouse and it's over, don't go wash the dishes and start thinking about everything you should have said and come back and start it again. The moment is over. Find peace in what it is you talked about. But don't let them have to keep rehashing a situation over and over and over again, because all of these minds that's up here, that's torture. It creates walls, barriers around your heart, because you don't feel safe in the presence of your spouse, because you feel like at any moment she gonna kirk. So I'm gonna have my guard up so I'll be prepared for the kirk. Nobody should ever feel that way. Don't let somebody have to build boundaries around their heart to love you. That's no way to love. Love is free. Love wins. Love heals. Love challenges. Love changes. Love embraces. There's so many attributes around love, but love doesn't attack. Listen, y'all know the scripture. Y'all know. Y'all know the scripture. And if you've been married for a while, the one verse that I want to leave, because oftentimes people are like, oh, we've been married for so long, and you get bored. You've allowed your love to get stale. You now are comfortable in love. You don't let love challenge you anymore. You don't allow love to be spontaneous and new, which everybody needs. Nobody likes to be bored with love. So being spontaneous, keeping your love alive, listen, it creates a force field around distractions. So keep your love alive. And I will leave this Bible verse with you when it comes to that. Jeremiah 32 and 27 says, behold, I am the Lord, the God of all flesh. Is there anything too hard for me? Listen, marriages take work. I like what the Message Bible says. The Message Bible said, is there anything I can't do? We've all had difficult moments in our marriage. And oftentimes it's like, why are we always addressing the difficult moments in our marriages? Because we got the good ones down pat. It's the steps to the difficulties in our marriages that we really need to pay attention to. It is my heart's desire that if you still are in your marriage, if you still have 1 ounce of hope, listen, cry out to God to fix things that are within you and commit to what it is that he shows you. Strengthen the things that remain. Your spouse married you for a reason. Continue to be his reason. While it is not the easiest thing, it is the greatest thing. And we value the things that take time, that take work. We value those things. Value your marriage. Value your spouse. Give them space to grow. Forgive. Give them the opportunity. Yes, baby. We still laugh. Give them the opportunity to become with you, not become, not, I want to say it and be tender about it. Thank you, baby. Give them space to become with you so distractions won't come and they become without you and bring that person home. I hope that makes sense. I tried to say it in a way that was simple and easy, so I hope that it made sense. It's just my heart's desire to. Here come my daughter, y'all. Look at this. Watch. Hi. Go with your mother. You see this foolishness? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You see this, guys? Listen, this is what happened when you live. Maybe we should do a video next time, Shami, and upload the video so we can edit it. I hope that that you found strength or wisdom in some of my words. It is just it's our efforts that we are trying to be who we needed when we needed it the most. Giving answers is not easy because when you are vulnerable to people, you welcome them into a space that they really don't have. If life was another way, you would rather keep your life private. Let me just say that. But privacy does not give answers, and privacy doesn't offer life. And while it takes courage to be out front, it takes courage to share your truth. When you vow to die empty, when you vow that the very thing that almost killed you won't kill somebody else, then you change your perspective on sharing your truth. So with that being said, please join us next Monday at 4 o'clock. Charmy will be our guest for the day. And y'all know that's Baby Bishop. She gonna come with it. So be prepared. Share this with your social media audience. Text it out. It will be available on our YouTube page after this. It will be available on our Facebook page. So please share it. We're trying to save a life one moment at a time. Until next week, take care.